Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is McDonald's Treasureland adventure for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. Might as well go ahead and show off the controls real quick. A lets you use the scarf, B lets you attack, C lets you jump. These are the defaults, but you can change them if you desire. As for the game level, default is beginner, but we're switching to expert because that's how I'm gonna roll with this. Without further ado, let's begin. One day, as Ronald was walking in the magical forest, he found a small piece of paper under a big tree. What's this? It looks like a piece of a treasure map. I wonder where the rest of the map is. What Ronald didn't know was that 3 bad guys each had a piece of the map. Okay, Ronald said with a smile, let's go on a treasure hunt. And so, with a piece of the map in his hand, Ronald begins his adventure. Stage 1, Magical Forest. First of 4 stages in this game. Not a very long game. And control is simple enough. You do left and right to move around. C lets you jump, B lets you attack. And because I'm playing on expert, I start out with less health and less lives. This bug here, have to wait for him to come out of his shell before we can attack him. And we can use the scarf to hang onto this hook, so we can go up here and attack this gnome. That's what the scarf does, it lets you grab on the hooks. There's the magic icon, brought our magic level up to 2. You can bring your magic up to a maximum level of 3. And those gnomes are probably the worst enemy because they shoot out thunderclouds, and the thunderclouds attack you by shooting thunder downwards. That can do a lot of damage to you, and can nearly kill you this early in the game, especially on expert. Also, because I'm playing on expert, there are more enemies than on the lower difficulties. So if you're playing on expert, you should be careful. Anyway, by using the scarf to grab this hook, and then leap up off of it because we didn't hold the button down, we're able to get up there and get a life icon. That life icon, also known as a life item, increases our maximum health by 1. So now we have 4 units of health instead of 3. We're also picking up flowers and money. The white bags of gold give you 50 gold, the gold ones give you 100. Also, the flowers are there to refill your health. If you pick up 2 yellow flowers or 3 white ones, you'll be able to increase the amount of health you have by 1. You basically get to recover health that way. There are also jewel icons, either alone or in pairs, that recover 1 or 2 units of health respectively. In case your health is full and you manage to get either 2 yellow flowers or 3 white ones, you will be able to keep those as an extra hit. You can have up to 2 extra hits with both the yellow and white flowers. It's also a good idea to power up your magic, because not only does it make it easier to hit enemies, but the enemies also take less hits before they die. Pretty obvious. Also, by going into this door here, we're able to enter the store. You have white flowers for 100 gold, yellow for 150, a jewel for 300, 2 jewels for 500, a 1-up for 5,000, a life item for 2,000, a balloon for 10,000, I'll explain those later, a continue for 10,000, and a magic power-up for 2,000. So any items you can pick up out there in the wild, you can also buy here for a little bit of gold. And even if you, say, got the maximum flowers or maximum magic, be sure to pick up the icons anyway, because the icons also give you 10 gold each, which is really good. Anyway, it's time to climb up this tree. As we climb up this tree, the sky goes from day to evening to night. And these bats you'll be dealing with, which will fly in an arc of some weird sort, will turn into ghosts. They'll be easier to take care of when they're ghosts because they just fly towards you. Also, you have to deal with that gnome there as well. Be sure to grab these white bags of money and then go up here. Even though the tree leaves here block your vision, it's still very easy to get around here. I might as well go ahead and go over the heads-up display. To the left, the very bottom left, is the difficulty you're playing on and the amount of health you have. To the right of that are the amount of yellow flowers you have. You can have up to 2. To the right of that is the amount of white flowers you have, which you can have up to 3. To the right of that is how many balloons you have and how powerful your magic currently is. And to the right of that is your gold, your lives, and your continues. By the way, if you need to drop down a platform, you can just hold down and press C, which is useful for getting the jewels right here. You'll have to do it again to get away from that little area, and you will have to backtrack a little bit, but that's alright. If you need help, there it is. So thankfully, you can see how many items of everything you have at a glance just by looking at the bottom of the screen, which is great. We've now made it past the tree, and it's now on to the third section. You want to take care of this little flying centipede here, and you want to take care not to get hit. When you destroy the centipede, you'll get as many as 4 white flowers, which is really good. Again, even if you don't need the white flowers, pick them up anyway. I managed to get 40 gold off those 4 flowers. Also go down here to take care of some enemies. And get some more gold. I managed to get 30 off of those white flowers there. I also want to take care of that fish, and also increase my maximum health to 6. I believe the maximum amount you can have for hit points is 7. Now it's time to get on the cylinder and ride the platforms that this thing has. We're going to have to do that to get the extra life here, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to get it. Now we could go to the right and end this section, but I don't want to do that just yet. Instead, I want to go up here, get some more gold. And in here is another shop. Looking back in this footage, I'm still wondering why I didn't buy any flowers. That was kind of dumb on my part. We're pretty much done here, so now it's time to head to the right, to the goal, and start the next section, where the water is not calm. As a matter of fact, it pushes you back. You're gonna have to walk to the right like man to get that balloon icon. What the balloon does is, in case you fall into a pit, you'll be able to float your way out of it, and then you can pretty much fly to wherever you want for a few seconds. When you're above solid ground, press C, and you'll be able to let go of the balloon, and you'll be able to land there. Also want to use the frogs to get up here and get some more gold and another magic icon. Even though I don't need it, I still want the 10 gold that it provides. Now, you're supposed to leap onto this geyser, but I made the really dumb mistake of leaping down here, and then I tried to make my way to the hook and try to grab it with the scarf, which, by the way, you can only aim straight up. You can't aim it in any other direction. It's not like the whip in Castlevania. And because of that, we get to see the balloon in action. Didn't want to use it that early, but oh well. And by going into this particular door, we have a little interesting game. For 2,000 gold, we can play a little game of columns. Just like in columns, you gotta have 3 icons in a row, either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. And whatever you get one of those for your score. If you get 3 of a certain pairing, you'll be able to get that item, whether it be a life icon or a continue or an extra life or a magic power-up. Definitely don't want to get 3 skulls because that doesn't get you anything good, obviously. This is good because if you know what you're doing, you'll be able to get a continue here, which is really hard to get to. Plus, you can actually spin the little things apart. It's not like columns where the symbols nearly shift places. You actually rotate them like Tetris blocks. Also, I accidentally exited the game there because I thought I was going to be able to rotate it. The blocks can stack up pretty fast in that little minigame. Anyway, we didn't really get much of anything, so now it's time to head to that giant geyser there to the right. We won't be able to reach it through the water, so we have to go up here and then land on this geyser. Pay attention to the pickups that drop down from the sky, and try to avoid these things on clouds that have those little spikes on the bottom, because those things will hurt you if you run into them. There's not a lot of pickups in this little section here where you're riding on the huge geyser. And eventually you'll make it to the end where you get thrown someplace completely different. When that happens, you want to be sure to grab the white flower and the 2 bags of gold before you approach the little field of grass with the rocks to the right. This opens up a cave, and turns out the cave has an eye at the top of it, so you're now inside some weird creature. Don't know what that buzzer sound was, as well as that resulting sound, but that doesn't really seem like anything good. Other than the bats that we just took out, there's also these dragons that spit fire. You want to jump over or duck under the flame when necessary, because when it's breathing fire, you can't hurt it. You want to hit it between attacks as much as you can. And now there's this section where waterfalls come down. You definitely don't want to run into the waterfalls or the water below because it will hurt you. And whenever you find a safety zone, you want to be there when the timer hits 0. Because this water really does hurt. And I thought I'd be able to get over there in time, but I did not. There's another water-based hazard there. These little droplets that shoot out in an arc. Kind of reminds me of some Konami shooters like Life Force and Salamander. I'm pretty sure those are the same game. You definitely don't want to touch those droplets, and you definitely want to be in the center of the safety zone to ensure that you don't get hit by the droplets. And I did not expect to get hit there. I believe this door is another store? Yes, it is. This time around, I ensure that I have my 2 free hits for just in case. You want to go all the way to the right, but not to the gold, because that's how you get the ability to best explore the rest of the level. Which is good, because there are a few dragons that make it harder if you try to go up after all the water stuff that you have to deal with. And it's a good thing we're at max level when it comes to magic, because it makes these dragons a lot easier to deal with. And you don't want to die, because if you die, your magic power goes down by 1 level. Now thankfully it is easy to get your magic back to full power in case you have enough gold, but it's always better to just not die. Also, I thought I'd be able to grab the hook, and I didn't. Go me! But we've taken care of all the enemies here, and there's not much else to do. So all we need to do is just grab this hook, and make our way to the next section. We're still not done yet. Now these little totem poles that go up and down, they take you to where you need to go, but they also produce a lot of hornets. I actually spend some time grabbing some power-ups, because these hornets always leave power-ups. And you never know what you'll get out of these things. Sometimes you'll get flowers, sometimes you'll get health. You always get something. Also, you want to be sure to ride this first totem all the way to the top, and then time your scarf usage just right so you grab that hook, and increase your health even more while getting some other items. We are now at max health, finally. And I don't know what happened there, but I do take the time to refill my health a little bit, because I definitely need it. And I also find an entrance to another store, so I go ahead and go in there, fill up on yellow and white flowers, and then make my way to the right. Now for some reason there are a few welcome signs here. I wonder what happens if you go down. Let's find out. Hold down and press C to drop down here and you'll meet the Hamburglar. Walk up to him, and you can talk to him. The Hamburglar will ask for 2 of your magic jewels, and if you give them to him, he will give you a hint. Thankfully we have 2 free hits, so we are now back at full health. We didn't really have to spend anything, except flowers. Anyway, you'll find out the enemy bosses will try to steal your jewels. And if they take your jewels, you can attack them while we're eating them. This is not only a clue for the first boss, but for every boss. Keep this in mind, because we're going to face the first boss very, very shortly. For this section, whenever you go down a slope, go all the way to the left and duck. That way those little fish rockets, or whatever it is they are, don't hit you. Also, there is another store. Now, I buy some flowers, but somehow I do a dumb thing. I thought I was able to drop down there, and I took 4 hits from that thing, and then I almost run into that monster there. I'll be able to refill on everything when I meet the boss. So here's the boss of the first level, which is this tomato guy. He sends his cronies out to get you, and you can attack the cronies to get some health back, whether it be in the form of flowers or jewels. And I recommend filling up on flowers in case you haven't done that while you're at max health, because those will serve as a substitution for the jewels that you're going to lose. That laser that the boss is shooting out of his mouth, you want that to hit you, because when the boss hits you with the laser, he steals one of your gems and tries to eat it. When he's eating it, you can hit him with your attack. I'm assuming the boss is a he. The rest of the time, he will be completely invulnerable. He has to be eating one of your jewels, like so, after you get hit by the laser, which I just got hit by, in order for you to damage him. That's the only way you can damage him. And it's a good thing I'm at maximum level magic, because I'm able to get at least 4 hits on him whenever he eats one of my jewels. That sounds vulgar. And I can do a whole lot of damage. I think it takes about 14 to 16 hits with max level magic to take care of this guy. Might as well go ahead and fill up on white flowers there. Get one more free hit. And we should be nearly done at this point, I believe. I'm not even going to wait to get some more flowers. I'm just going to hit this guy and be done with it already. By being the boss, you get his quadrant of the treasure map. You'll get a piece of the treasure map every time you beat the boss in the first 3 stages. But you probably already knew that, even if you didn't play the game. Anyway, Ronald takes the map, he realizes it fits the piece he has perfectly, and he wonders who has the rest of the map. Well, he's about to find out when he takes the train to Clarksville or something in Stage 2, Magical Town, which we'll be taking on in the next video. So join me next time for Stage 2. Until then, this is Prince Watercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!